Welcome guys to another Romanian Academy 5-minute guide, this time into prepositions in dative, prepoziții la dativ. And I'm very excited about this one because I know how much dative gets a bad rep, but trust me, with prepositions in dative, it's really simple. And not only that, but think about it, it's only 5 minutes of explaining, so quite straightforward, isn't it? If that isn't enough, by the way, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This video here, as you can see, number 1 is just the tip of the iceberg. You can see now on the screen the free PDF you get as a free member on Patreon, which adds a bit of content, and also you'll see some exercises and the answers to them. Also, towards the end, I'll mention more about the Prietena tier exercises sheet, which includes extra content and exercises, obviously. And if that isn't enough, on the 27th of November, we have joined a combined grammar class with genitive and dative prepositions. So all your worries and problems about this topic go away. Simply go away. Coming to the dative prepositions, let's have a look at this example here. Am reușit grație colegi and am reușit grație colegilor. We or I made it thanks to the colleagues. Two different ways to write this. Many people write it like this or say it like that, but actually the correct form is this. The reason, because this one has the dative or genitive definite article at the end, which is what you need after you have a dative preposition. This is how it works. You cannot just say colegi or colegi, for instance. You cannot just put a nominative accusative article. You have to put the dative article, lor, in this situation. If that isn't yet clear, don't worry, we have you covered. Just quickly to mention that this is the third episode in this kind of series of prepositions. We did talk about the accusative prepositions. You have the video on the other side of the screen. Then we talked about the genitive prepositions. Also, you can check that out on the other side of the screen. And now we got to dative, the final piece in this puzzle, the last piece in this puzzle, if you may. So if we go back to the example from a second ago, the I made it thanks to the colleagues, we need to look at grazie. Grazie sounds very Italian, right? Well, it is from there. And grazie is a thank, right? A thank. I don't know why I'm speaking with this accent, but it's a thank. So it's a noun. Yeah. In dative, most prepositions come from nouns or from adjectives. Most really come from adjectives, but this grazie is quite common. There's another one that's quite common, but we'll talk about it in a second. So to find out more about what nouns and adjectives are, different types of nouns and adjectives. I know that this might sound very basic for you, but it's really not. There are some types of nouns and some types of adjectives that you might not know about it. So I'm telling you, check out the seasons about nouns and adjectives. The first episodes in these seasons have information about what kind of words can be nouns and what words can be adjectives. So check these videos out after this one, or now, up to you. But come back, because we want to talk about the prepositions usage, the dative prepositions usage. To do that, we need to look at the two elements basically that are used with a dative preposition. The preposition itself, which is a noun or an adjective. That's quite straightforward. Again, if you don't know what that is, go ahead and check out the videos. And then a noun or a pronoun in dative. Here it gets a bit more messy. Yes, you do. I do recommend you to check out about this as well, because specifically on that, the noun or the pronoun needs to change into its dative form. We saw earlier that the dative form of a noun is quite straightforward. It's just the genitive dative article, definite article at the end. But a very important mention here that pronouns in dative. Firstly, pronouns also might be words that you are not aware of. So please check out that first video in the pronoun season. Then, the pronouns in dative have specific forms. The pronouns themselves in dative are not the same as the genitive pronouns in dative. So that is something you really should consider when you use the genitive preposition. So, for instance, here when we had grazie colegilor, yeah, thanks to me or thanks to you will be grazie ție. ție, right? Not ta, grazie, ta. Ta would be, for instance, in genitive, but it's not that, it's ție. So careful with that. So if we look here on the right to some examples, some other examples of prepositions in dative are corespunzător, so according to, specific, so specifically to, and grație, thanks to. You can see all of them have a to afterwards, which is really all about dative. So we'll talk about that in a second too. So colegilor, lui Mihai, mie, I said it's mie or ție, vouă, those are the pronouns, for instance, or the nouns, or the proper nouns that you can use. So a list of the other prepositions in dative, a full list of all the prepositions in dative is under the free tier on Patreon. I don't know what this effect is, but check out Patreon. You have this free PDF where you get all the prepositions in dative right there covered just for you. The trick, the final step here, which is quite important, let's understand why we need the dative and what happens really when you use it. Let's see how Romanians think about this. So dative is usually a case that describes direction or the receiver of an action. The verb really is the important bit here. With dative, the verb is crucial. Step number 2 is to be aware that the noun or adjective that is used for the preposition itself, grație, for instance, right, shows how the action is sent to the receiver. So if we look back at a reușit grație colegilor, grație, so the word grație, the noun in this situation, describes how the managing is sent to the colleagues. This is what the dative really describes there. It shows that grație, the thanks to, is sent to the colleagues by the action of managing or succeeding. Or the receiver receives the action, so the colleagues receive the action, in the same way described by the noun or adjective. Here it can be, well, many other things, not just thanks to. Don't forget, you can check that out in the free PDF. So grație colegilor is really about like how you send thanks for the action to the colleagues. To the colleagues, that's the to. Most, if not all, the dative prepositions have a to attached to it, even in English. So that's why it's even easier for you to get the dative prepositions. Again, like similarly to the genitive prepositions video, I say don't be lazy. The reason I say that is because many people just forget about this lor, or the dative form of the noun or the pronoun. You could say, as it was in the beginning, yeah, don't say grație colegi, say grație colegilor. Not only you'll sound better, you will be correct grammatically, and people will not be confused and will not think you're illiterate, like 40% of the Romanian. We have enough illiterate people in Romania, you know. So, final thing here, if you want to practice, you have some exercises on the screen. The answers to them are available in the free PDF. So here you get the answers in the free PDF, in the free tier on Patreon. So try them yourself. You have to use these 3 prepositions and the correct form of the words in brackets. And you have to fill in the sentences. You have the English and the Romanian version, so you can get it straight. Don't forget, we have the Pretenaștier exercises workbook, where you can find more exercises than just those 6, and you can practice also the other prepositions that are not in this video, so not just those 3. And if that's not enough, please join the class on the 27th of November on Discord if you are învățăcel or higher. If you cannot join, you can see the recording at any point, but we will dive deep into both the genitive and the dative prepositions in that class, and we're gonna smash it because it's the first time we cover more than one topic in one class, so that's gonna be spot on, trust me. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you're new to this, to the Romanian Academy, subscribe to the channel, join the community. We have a Discord server available for free through Patreon. Go on Patreon if you want to see any of the other content we have, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. La revedere!